What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists out there? Welcome to On the Bench with Pete, the series that you put on in the background whilst you hobby or paint along with me. Now, this is a very special episode of On the Bench because I'm talking about my old favourite channel, Miniwargamer Jay, Miniwargaming Jay, which has been on a bit of a hiatus for quite some time. In fact, I thought he'd given up the hobby for some time. At one point, I kind of worried, is he okay? Hope nothing's happened to him. But anyway, we'll talk about that later in the video. But in this episode, I was looking through my Zombicide book, and I was looking at these, which I think are they're like firemen or rescue people. Thinking, they've got yellow bands on them and they need painting. I was going to just leave them. I thought, that's just lazy. I know I'm not painting to it like an award-winning standard or anything, but that's just lazy. And sort yourself out, Pete, basically. The whole point of painting the miniatures is to make the game experience better. So without further ado, I'm probably going to use a wet palette because I'm going to be painting yellow, just yellow bands. That's all I'm going to be doing this episode, but that's okay. But you grab your glues, brushes, paints, models, whatever else you need, and let's get to the bench. Right, so these are the fellows in question here. I am going to have to look up in my Zombicide book exactly which bands, if I'm going to do them. Right, so there's a lot of yellow bands there to do. Right, okay. And they got like a fluorescent yellow. I mean, I've got fluorescent yellow, but what would look best? I'm thinking I will use fluorescent yellow. And however it comes out, I'll be needing to put some wash on it anyway, kind of dirty it up a bit. So I'm just putting my fan on right now. Because it's so humid, it's been so humid lately and hot, I'm gonna put the fan on to keep me cool. Right, so this is like I said, this is a special episode because the Painting with Jay series that Miniwargamer Jay used to do is very dear to my heart. I used to love. It's my favourite paint along series, and it inspired me to do my On the Bench series. Really, largely, the series itself was inspired. The act of doing a paint along series was inspired by Painting with Jay. The title On the Bench was kind of inspired by Ash from, at the time, Miniwargamer. Miniwargaming he worked for, and he had a series called The Machine Shop. Okay. Well, I've put my fluorescent yellow on there. I don't know how well / bad it's going to cover. I just don't know. But I'm mixing it up on the wet palette here. I'll just put in a little bit of water with it. I don't think it covers that well, but that's okay. I don't need it to, really. So a character brush, a couple of detail brushes, a regiment brush. I don't think I'll be needing that. Um, another detail brush here. I'm looking for this brush here, my 5-0 brush. Not that I'm going to be needing that, I do not think. Right, so we'll take one. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with the bottom. He's got a couple of rings, like rings just going around. Yeah, they're not, don't cover that well. That's fine. I mean, this could even be. This could even be a two coat job, which wouldn't be surprising considering it's going on to dark blue essentially. So, as promised then, so this is a special episode of On the Bench because as you know, I reached my benchmark of 400 episodes, and then the series essentially has become On the Beach, although I've kind of segregated it. And on the actually, these might be alright. On the beaches, I want them to be weekly. On the benches, well, they're just as and when. And it's doing two things. I mean, one thing it's doing is it's pushing the episode count to 401, which means I'll have to have a new goal of 500. Episodes. That'd be awesome. I mean, in the meantime, the other thing is I'm doing kind of back to my roots, and the On the Benches I'm filming in 720p, so they're easier to do. Time wise, they're a lot easier for me to do. They're twice as fast for me to do these to get them up onto YouTube than it is the 1080p ones. I know a lot of you out there, you do like 2K, 4K and all that stuff these days. Nah. I'm about the content. What I'm actually either painting or talking about, as opposed to the visual. I do agree with Matthew from Miniwargaming, who said a long time ago, and it's always stuck with me, a video needs good sound, otherwise people lose interest. It's better to have good sound and poor visual quality than the other way around, and he's right about that. He is so right about that. Right, okay. So, as you know, with On the Benches, I have often talked about Miniwargamer Jay, and how I love his videos. I just love his presentation style, his outlook on things. I enjoy listening to him. As a paint along series for Painting with Jay, I think it's fantastic. I owe him a lot for my own YouTube journey. I mean, I'm not a big channel by any stretch of the imagination, but I enjoy what I do. It brings me great joy. and you know, I have a lot of fun. Right, so I'm just going to pop that down there momentarily so that I can look at my illustration. Ooh. Yeah, so I'm thinking, yeah, it's that one, and then the two burns there. Right, okay, I think I got it. I don't know how far I can get with this in one episode of On the Bench. Hey, maybe I'll have to have 2 episodes of On the Bench. I am sorry that I'm not doing 40k content for it, because, you know, obviously Jay is hugely into 40k, and I enjoyed his first, like, his comeback video talking about rating his armies in 10th. That was pretty interesting, actually. And of course, when you're not doing 40k, it's kind of it makes you want to do 40k. Well, I want to do 40k anyway, but you know, I want to get my Zombicide painted, and I've got to do that. I've got to do that, right? So that we can have good fun games of it. Because there's a few people going to be involved in the playing of Zombicide 2E in my household. My wife and myself obviously will be playing this, and I'll be playing it solo as well because of the, you know, the game mechanic. It can easily do that. But we're also going to be playing it as a family, my wife and myself, when my daughter comes up, and even when my brother-in-law comes up. You know, he's going to be playing it. Last time he came up, we played a board game, the Jaws board game. He thoroughly enjoyed that. I said that because he loves Resident Evil as well, and he likes zombies, you know, zombie movies, you know, the Resident Evil games. He's got Resident Evil memorabilia he collects. He's a bit more nerdy than I first gave him credit for. Anyways, so we're playing Jaws, and he really liked it. I thought, wow, if you like this board game, I have a board game that you will love. I know you like zombies, so we were talking about it, all of us, and he's like, it's definitely piqued his interest. The fact that this doesn't cover well is actually not a bad thing. The reason being, gives it a more worn look, if that's the right phrase. I think that's the right phrase. It gives it a more worn look. So let's not forget, we're in the apocalypse now. These are zombies I'm painting, and consequently, they're not going to be in great shape. They'll have been through some stuff, you know. They'll have been through things. They're not firefighters anymore, or rescue emergency crew. They were, but they're not now. Well, I'll do for him. I might change my brush out actually, because I'm not enjoying that brush, gotta be honest. Let's try a different one. I'll try a character brush. I've got my coffee, of course. I've got my coffee, and it'll be too hot right now, but that's okay, because I intend to be hobbying for quite some time. So now, I keep going off track, don't I? That's something I do. It's part of my condition. You know, I've got MS, right? So part of that involves my, kind of ADHD side, and so I started talking about, the purpose of this video, which was just twofold, really. One is giving me a new target, so I've gone past 400 now. 401 or something. It's a homage to, painting with Jay from Miniwargamer Jay, and so I've long been an advocate for, where is he, and I've commented on various videos of his saying, please do another painting with Jay, where have you gone, basically. I even asked the community, does anybody, is he on Facebook? Are you on Facebook? Is he alright, And word got to me that yes, he's alive and well, still hobbying. I thought, well, that's good. Maybe he had an equipment issue. It happens, and you think, well, I think it's, I don't know, but I think it's just been a case of real life getting in the way, there's stuff going on, and, before you know it, a year's gone by, and, one year leads to another, that's the kind of what I think it is going on here. But anyway, I said he did a series called Painting with Jay, which was my favourite paint-along series, and I've watched it and rewatched it from the beginning over and over and over again. I don't know how many times. Anyway, I'm rewatching it again for the umpteenth time, on episode whatever. I just put an innocuous comment down, so I wish you'd do more of these. And then out of the blue, that same evening, I get a response notification on my phone. Jay's actually responded to me. He's replied to me, and the reply was, "I'll see what I can do." And I'm like, "What? Are you serious? You're alive and well, and you're going to do you might do another video? Cool." And so he started doing videos again, it would seem. And I hope he keeps up the trend. He's done 2 since that message now. And I don't want to be like, force people to do what they don't want to do if they don't want to do it. But he always seemed to enjoy doing videos, and I enjoyed the content, watching them. And it just seemed such a shame to stop. He had quite a good subscriber base at the time, and I enjoyed his content, and wanted him to do more. Basically, that's a selfish thing, I know. That is kind of selfish. I want you to do more to entertain me, Basically, that's what it was, But yeah, and I'm super excited that he's back. It would seem, doing videos again and talking about doing other videos. And I'm like, wow, that is brilliant. So there's always hope, folks. If you have a favorite, like a YouTube channel, and they start making content, Do you remember my video about Revy McRevison, which was a homage to Jay's videos about he had this neighbour at the time which used to rev his motorcycle at the weekends. Never rode it around, just sat there, would sit there in the drive revving this motorcycle. And I had a similar thing at the time, and it drove me nuts because I was trying to film my videos, right, and just get this rum. Oh my goodness sake! And similar, thing in that, not riding him around, just sat there on his drive, revving his motorcycle. So I said, I'm going to do a video called Revy McRevison Rides Again. It's been reborn. And come over to England. Just to annoy me. So, I feel his pain with that. Sounds like he's moved a couple of times now, though. I mean, I know he moved anyway from where that situation happened. I hope he's doing all right. I don't want not to pry into anybody's private lives or anything. It's not for me to do that. But I just, hope all is well. That's all I'm saying. And I hope, I don't know how far away he's moved from where he was. Excuse me. Excuse me. I don't know how far away he's moved from where he was living previously. But hopefully he can still get the same sort of people playing, 40k. And he's talking about tournaments and that. So I'm guessing he's not gone very far away. Right, that's another one done. Just wash the brush off there, and that's taken 23 minutes to do 2. So that would tell me I could probably get the remaining 2 done with the 1 coat. Would I do a second coat? Probably, maybe I will. I'm going to have some coming out. Coffee. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And so I'm taking an opportunity at the moment right now. I'm in the process of recuperating. I have 0 energy in the mornings at the moment to do anything. Is there something wrong? Possibly. But you guys all know me. Just keeping going. Keeping going. And I don't know what the future holds for my condition, but one thing I will say is obviously the hobby helps. So I can film these videos whenever I see fit, and I can post them up, to be released in the future, which is cool, which is super cool. I love that you have that ability on YouTube. You can film a video and it can go up, 6 months later if you want. Depends how far you plan. There was a time I had my videos all planned out and scheduled a good 3 months in advance. It was incredible. That was back in the days when I had a nice lot of time on my hands. and I was able to do it, and I was able to start growing my subscribers, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, so we were back in days when we all kind of thought we might be able to have a career on YouTube. Those were the days. Do you remember? Do you remember when? Yeah, a lot of people thought, oh yeah, I'll be able to do a career on YouTube. I'll be able to make some money. Give up my day job. Yeah, it didn't quite work out for us, did it? But you know, we were naive. I mean, some of us can. Some of us can totally do that. And you know, fair play to them. They've put the right amount of hard work in. It's not a matter of how much hard work you put in. It's a combination of how much work you put in and what work you put in and when you put it in. So I mean, some people have really gone for it, and that's great that they're able to do that. You know, fair play to them. Fair play. Yeah, so it's been hot here, humid. That said though, the sea has been rough lately. Yeah, it's been choppy, pretty choppy. Had a lot of wind lately too, I notice as well, which is I'm not used to wind here. I was used to wind back in Plymouth because you know we were high up and you know, one of the highest points in Plymouth, ground level wise, and it was always windy, always blowing the old fences, wooden fences down. You know, that used to be so annoying. It won't happen now because they got brick walls in there. Because I paid to have a brick wall built. Right, so there. This is alright for a you know, first coat. Well, I might even get 2 videos out of this, you know. So I'm on to the last fellow. Oh, half an hour in. There's no way I'd get all of them done. Not 2 coats. I might get another couple done. So maybe 2 out of the 4 have their second coat of this, but I want it to dry more thoroughly than that, I think. So I can start something else. I've got other stuff. I've got some more runners to do to make a start on. Right, so I don't know what to say really about certain stuff, whether it's interesting enough to talk about, whether it's you know, relevant. The problem with my condition is sometimes I get brain fog, which kind of disrupts my flow of thought, and when I'm doing a paint along video it's very difficult, or at least it can be. I've seen some good videos from you guys, many different people, you know, on YouTube lately. Not just the miniature building, but you know, other people I follow too. Well done, everybody, doing some really good work there. Really awesome. What I'm looking forward to when I've painted my models up is I'm going to literally run the tutorial game for Zombicide 2E. I'm sure there is one. I haven't actually looked. There was in, you know, the first edition. So I'll run the tutorial game for the 2E if there is one. I should think there was. I mean, to me, I thought that was an excellent part of learning, putting into practice what you learned in the rulebook. So we'll see. I mean, if not, I'll just go through the first mission, but I'll play it solo first. I'll do it solo first. And then get more people involved. Oh, dearie me. Anyway, guys, so what are you working on? You know, you doing 40k? Are you doing 10th edition stuff? New stuff for 10th edition? What are you up to? What are you up to? Do let me know in the comments below. I love to read about that stuff, you know that. I realise it's been a long time since I played Resident Evil as well, you know, board game. Similar sort of deal. In many ways, it's very similar. But it's also very different as well. I mean, you got ammo for a start, which is terrifying in a zombie game. Yeah, terrifying. So not only have you got a roll to hit with the option of missing, you've also got to keep a track of how many times you can do that, because bullets, right? They're all done with one coat. I think they'll have to have a second coat, but that's okay. I've got these runners to do here, and what I would do is start on this skin. I might do some the old Gilliman flesh on them, because they've got dark recesses, so that would kind of work, I think. I've done some Gilliman flesh on some of my other zombie miniatures, and it's come out all right. Actually, it's come out all right. I'm suitably impressed. Yeah. So, right. So if I'm going to, well, first of all, I'll pop the lid back on my wet palette, because not that it'll dry out easy anyway, but you know what I mean. Right, now I've got to look at these bad boys, or girls. Excuse me, they're actually girls. These are girls. They're running. Look, yeah, they're wearing shorts under a long coat. That's just odd. A strange sort of fashion sense going on there. I don't know what's going on there, if I'm honest. Right. Okay, just line those up. Okay. So we'll start with the face. I know this kind of makes them not look as rotted. But yeah, maybe how can you justify this? Maybe they've been running. I don't know. I don't know. Kept the flesh purer for some reason. I don't know. Right. Looks like wearing socks and trainers. The trainer thing, that would make more sense given that they're runners. Right, so that's how I'm approaching that. That's how I'm approaching that. So yeah, that's good. I've got all the expansions for Zombicide. That's something to talk about. But I'm not going to be opening them and painting them up for a long time. Not until I've played quite a few games of this. And that is going to be my treat further down the line. Of being able to open up, because there's not a lot of miniatures in the expansions. You know, you've done the hard work here in the core box set, and quite rightly so. You know, should be able to do the hair with contrast as well. Oh, it's a lovely breeze coming through. Do you know I had a dream this morning of where I used to work? For those of you that don't know, I used to work in a supermarket years ago. Yeah, it was really odd. It was like all the stuff that went on. You know, during the COVID thing, being sent home, and then of course being sent home enabled me to get the qualifications I need for the job I'm currently doing, or it led me on a path. It led me on a path to be able to do the job I'm currently doing. So yeah, that was a good thing. I don't know what it is. I don't actually like the runner models in probably any of the games or expansions or anything of Zombicide I've seen. I don't like the runner models. I mean, you'd be running in a big long coat, for goodness sake. I know they're zombies and they're kind of mindless, but yeah, come on, it doesn't make sense. things like, you know, the ex-athletes, and that makes a bit more sense. Or someone that's pumped up on drugs and that. Right, what time have we got here? Right, wow, 42 minutes. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry about the yawning. So their skin is done. Do I go back to him with a second coat? That's interesting to me. Do you know what? We're going for it, folks. We're going for it as a special, you know, because we've been doing it, and yeah, why not? Why not? Let's get the second coat. Do up a bit. Ooh. Right, maybe. Okay. Strange camera angle, but you know, if it works, you gotta use it. Right, so I'm just putting a second coat on, and it will still look worn because I'm not going to cover it 100%. I'm not going to meticulously go over it. That sounds lazy, doesn't it? But no, seriously, that is kind of what I want. I want it to look kind of crappy, if you will. Yeah, because it is coming through a bit better now. Yeah. Yeah, so I had a dream about working in this supermarket and what it was like there. And I've not since, but lately, I've been looking at people doing the exact same job that I used to do. And for the time period I'm talking about, I was doing what they call order picking. Basically, doing customer shopping for them. You know, because we're all so lazy these days. We can't even do our own shopping, and that's a... But hey, it's giving some people jobs. I didn't... To start with, I enjoyed it. Because I thought, well, I've got a trolley I can lean on if the going gets tough. But I didn't enjoy it because they kept saying you got to go faster. And, you know, KPIs on the order picking, I mean, dude, you know, I've got a condition. And anybody doing any job like that, you know, if you're in charge of someone, they got a condition. You cannot expect them to have the same sort of KPI target rate as everyone else. That's just ridiculous. You got to treat individual people on an individual basis, right? At least that's my philosophy. And that's what it should be. And I know for a fact there'll be no one watching like my old bosses or anything, because they never used to watch my channel anyway. But in the off chance, just just in case they are, dude, you've got to get your act together and, you know, adapt your technique to people with different conditions, different disabilities, and you cannot seriously expect everybody to perform at exactly the same speed. Speedy Gonzalez I am not. That said, I'm quite strong. And I've never had a problem with strength related stuff. But walking around, it's walking, right? Walking around a store all day, walking. When you got MS, walking is not your forte anyway. Especially when you were told, when you were diagnosed, you'll probably be wheelchair bound within 10 years. And you're expecting them to run around the store. Not going to happen, mate. It's not going to happen. Yeah. Better off out of it. But at the same time, I feel a certain obligation to anybody that comes before, you know, after me. You know, really? Yeah. Things need to change. A lot of things need to change in the work environment. I mean, just getting an employer to say, "Oh, MS, I've heard of that," is a miracle. You know. But I mean, I'm in a better employer now than I was. But I mean, I've been doing talks and presentations on it, and so I've been doing that to try and raise awareness, and I belong to a neurodiversity network forum, and I've recently joined the disability network as well. We've got to raise awareness of different things. The thing is, my condition of MS covers physical and mental, and you know, just lucky, I guess. Some people, they could have, like, you know, dyslexia, or what's the other one with the numbers? Dyscalculia. I can't remember now. Yeah, you know the one I mean. Anyway, like number blindness, you know. But we've all got to work. You know, we've got to try and make a living, earn a crust. You know. I'm just so glad I don't have the physicality of it all anymore, because employers put unrealistic expectations on you, as it is, I think, for a healthy person. You know, let alone someone with a condition. I realise I've been on a bit of a rant here today. Just airing my views. But, you know, I think things will change. Just takes time, doesn't it? You know, it's like anything. I mean, our lifetime is but a blip in the blanket of time, isn't it? You know, the amount of time we spend alive to the point we die. It's not even a pinprick in the fabric of time, is it? It's nothing. You talk millions and millions of years before anything evolves or changes, you know, in the physical world. You know, look at the dinosaurs and that. So, you know, 80 years is nothing. Nothing at all. Okay. Time we are now, and I'm on the last one. Ooh, 52 minutes. Do you know, this will be an exceptionally good episode, production wise, if I can get these out. Yeah, production wise, I've done good work here. This is good. This is good. I have varnished these prior to this, but I will quickly go over these bands, you know, once I've done them, just quickly with some varnish again, and then once the varnish is dry, I'll put the blood effects on. I mean, I don't care too much about blood wearing off. Don't forget, these models need the varnish. They'll be handled quite a bit. But honestly, I don't want to have to put blood on. Put the varnish on, and then have to gloss it up again for the blood, because the blood I want kind of shiny. Blood for the blood god. Now that is also a paint I need to restock up on. Blood for the blood god. I think next time I go into my nerd shop, she's going to collar me about a pre-order that she did for me. And so I'll have to get that. That's okay, that's okay. Right. I can hear the seagulls, so maybe the sun is getting better. Because they tend to come out more if other people are out and about, you know, eating chips or whatever. They kind of, you know, make a bit of noise. Walk along the seafront, you know, that kind of thing. There, I'm happy with that. So, I've got 4 firemen. I'm calling them firemen because that's what they are. Rescue workers. 2 coats of fluorescent yellow on their bands. Now, so, you know, so can you see there? Let's try and focus in on that. So a bit, you know, you just see that there's different colours there, and they look kind of dirty as well. But we're trying to mimic is these guys here. Oops. See? Don't worry about him is an abomination, but yeah, like that. So go into the art, zoom out, and back to me. Oh wow, what an episode that was. Wow. On the bench. I don't think I'll be doing that for a while yet. So you've now caused me to have to do another 99 episodes of On the Bench. But given that they can happen any time as many times. I could do one a day if I wanted to. I could do 2 a day if I wanted to. Not going to be able to do that. I'm just saying, there's flexibility there. On the beaches, I enjoy those because it just feels fresher, a different. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about the yawning. It's a different name essentially, but yeah, it just feels fresher. Starting it when I started it at episode 1 for a series, that was awesome. I just felt people were. I don't know. I felt people were a bit fed up with the old format. Maybe they still are. But not forgetting there is much for my benefit as well to help me. It's therapy, and I'm not embarrassed about that. It's just something I have to do. But a lot of figures to do for Zombicide. It's a lot of figures, and I realise I'm rambling and babbling, but there are a lot of figures to do for Zombicide, and I just don't remember the first time round when I was painting the first edition, it being this. Not much of a. It's not a slog. That's not the right word, but I didn't. It didn't. I don't remember it taking this long. But thinking about it back then, I wasn't working. I had all day, every day, and I feel that if I had that again, I could have, knocked these out no problem. I mean, my painting is more difficult for me these days. I just find it more difficult. Don't know how to describe it really. I suppose concentrating on it, although that is the bit that helps me, it also tires me. Tires me out. Tired out painting. How Sorry about that. Oh yeah, but I'll be super excited to sit down and say, right, let's play a game of Zombicide. Then start going through the rules and making sense of them, and how they fit in with all the other cool stuff. How the rules fit in with the miniatures. And just get them onto. Oh, I've got a new survivor as well, called Logan. I don't know who he's based off actually. If anybody does watch, I can't reach the miniature right now, but I got him. Does anybody know who he is? He looks kind of reminiscent of is it Merle from Walking Dead? Can't remember what he was called exactly, but Daryl's brother. But yeah, that's who he reminds me of. But I don't know if he's supposed to be that. But I don't know if he even is based on anybody. But let me know in the comments if you know the answer to that. Cause that would be something. So it's been an odd episode. It's been a special episode. It's, as I say, all those things, breaking the 400 barrier, the homage to Miniwargamer Jay's comeback, and my condition. Sometimes it gets to me. Maybe I'm having one of those days. But don't worry, fear not. I'll be bouncing back. I'm not actually that well at the moment right now, so believe it or not. So, when I am, I'll be hanging from the ceiling. Don't you worry. And we'll have a good time. We'll have a laugh. Will I film Zombicide 2E? Possibly. Might do. See how that would go. I'm in my first edition Zombicide games was always well received. There's no reason to suppose that these wouldn't be either. It's just nice to have them all painted, isn't it? Right, I think I've taken up enough of your time. Oh yes, I'll let this down a little bit. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time going for every pause, every yawn, and all that kind of stuff. But you know, I'll get the worst of it out. So thanks ever so much for watching. I appreciate your support. Your support keeps me going in more ways than I can possibly imagine to tell you. So thank you for that. And do like, if you can. Click that like button. It really helps me. Really, really does. I mean, these algorithms these days are a nightmare. Yeah, clicking that like button if nothing else. You know, subscribe if you're not subscribed. You know, because there will be other content coming. I've got some ideas for future videos. I'm even planning on getting a drone and seeing how I can do some cool footage with that. Talk more about that on another video. Yeah, share, subscribe, check out Patreon if you want to see some behind the scenes stuff and some extra videos. And I will see you guys on another video. Remember, all brushes lead to war. Bye. Bye bye.